Yo, what is up? What is up, YouTube Boxing family? It is K Rod here. I'm back with another good fight breakdown of a fighter that just recently fought. I'm gonna talk about Mr. Joseph Adorno. I'm gonna talk about him. I haven't spoken about him for quite a while, ever since I did my post fight live on him. And I'm gonna be breaking down his fight with Hugo Rodon. Um, Basically, I'm just gonna talk about, is Joseph Adorno, good for 140, or should he move back down to lightweight? So yeah, let's get right back into it, man. Be sure to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Share the video. Do what y'all gotta do. And yeah, man, I got plenty of ideas coming, and yeah, I just keep being creative. But yeah, let's talk about it. Joseph had a very good outing with Hugo Rodon. He did a very good job in that fight. He dropped him, I believe, in the second round. And what I could take away from it is that Joseph is getting extremely better with Coach Chino Rivas. Regardless of what people say, obviously, he was training with Coach Nelson Rodriguez, and I don't know what happened with his situation with failing to make weight. I believe there were certain instances of where he wasn't putting himself in proper position to actually win, like to actually, cut weight properly. And I mean, I believe Coach Nelson had previously, spoke with, obviously kind of local sports about it, where Joseph, he wasn't, being, disciplined as a fighter, and he had these like weird instances of just, not being disciplined on the weight cut portion to actually do his thing. And I think that was basically like the biggest problem with Joseph. I've always respected Joseph. For those of you that don't know me, I did go to at least a total of I've been to 3 boxing fights total, but I have been to several boxing gyms. I've been to the Albany boxing gym here to where I live at, right up here on Quayle Street. But the other boxing gym that I have been to was the Evolution Boxing Gym. For those of you that don't know where the Evolution Boxing Gym is, that is over down in Orlando, Florida. It's a good area. Well, as far as like the environment goes, I like it. I think it's a good gym, and I think it provides a very good, like a very good stable of hardworking fighters. And I think that's really where I actually started to really like, get along with the actual group of fighters that I ran into. And that's where like it just basically all started. Like I ran into Nestor Bravo. Huge big shout out to Nestor Bravo. He's a very, very good, veteran level fighter. I believe he fights at 140 now. Don't know what his next move is. I think he had recently stated that he's waiting on a fight date, so not too sure what's going on with him, but hopefully he can get a fight date soon, because he deserves it, and I'm definitely going to make my tribute video for him. He definitely deserves it. Same thing with Mark Reyes. I definitely need to chop it up with him again on my channel. We got to do like a live, again soon. And yeah, I mean, either way, I think like based off of what we see with the progression of Joseph Adorno, he's a good fighter. It's just like the biggest issue that I have with Adorno is just, the level of discipline. He will look good, for the time being now, but it's just like once the competition gets a lot harder and he starts going into his fights with a mentality to think some opponents are going to be easy, then that's really where I start to wonder where his progression will be as a fighter. So now that I'm not too sure like where he's going to be campaigning at, but it makes me think that he's going to be campaigning at 140. See, now I am very, very highly vocal on 140. 140 is a very, very deadly division, in my honest opinion. And I think the biggest issue that I have with it is that when you have not faced enough adversity in your career, that's where I believe 140 will be a sink or swim type of division. Because 140 is the boot, like, to me, it's a boot camp division to the welterweight division. So it's either, you're gonna make it or you're gonna break it. So, I mean, that's like my proper like analysis of how I view the junior welterweight division. I don't really call it super lightweight because it's really not super lightweight. It's actually the welterweight division, but it's just guys that are coming into the fights with a lot more, to win, and there's just too much opportunity being wasted for the sake of thinking that fighters can't, be successful until they go ahead and beat up on some actual certifieds. So, I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, it's good that fighters at 140, they are giving it their all and they are fighting each other actively. But the issue at 140 is just, some fighters are ducking, the toughest competition. And it is true that 140 is not like the super mega stacked division. I mean, honestly, like, I would say from a, from like a layman's perspective, there's probably ultimately only like 50 to 100 good fighters at 140. I would say that the top 100 is like really what's making the division, very interesting. But after that, it's just basically a bunch of young rookies, and people call them prospects, but I don't call them prospects. I just call them amateurs or professionals, because that's how it is. You're a professional. But at the end of the day, you cannot tell me that when you're young at the game, you are a rookie. But the problem is just that you have to come in with a mindset that any fight could really be your career-ending fight of that particular matchup. So, I mean, I don't view any young fighter or young up-and-coming fighter prospects because it's really defeating like the purpose of you being a professional, and it's giving people the excuse to say that, well, prospects don't have the same amount of experience as a contender. But it's like there's no difference. It's like, you're all fighting to become a champion one day, but it's like nothing's guaranteed to become a world champion. So you really can't call nobody a contender or a prospect, because it's all misleading arguments for the sake of saying that, oh, well, this guy, well, he was ranked in this ain't like, no, dude, it doesn't fucking matter. Because it's like, look at Subriel Matias. Like, Subriel Matias, he's not getting his just due, and he's being treated like crap. So, I mean, either way, like, it doesn't matter, because it's like, at the end of the day, you already know, like, what's going to happen, once you get up to, like, the world title level. It's all, political. Like, to me, it's all political scandalism. But, I mean, that's just how I see it. Like, it's really, stupid and very evil. But, yeah, let's talk about Joseph Adorno. I'm sorry, I got a little bit mixed up in my feelings, or thought process. But Joseph Adorno, if he does choose to stay at 140, now that he has the IBF Latino secondary title, my biggest problem is, who are you gonna fight? See, now there's a lot of names I could really put out here that could be possible. But out of all the names at 140, I say the biggest opponent out of his entire career that will very well be a very difficult, dangerous matchup will probably be Brian Norman Jr. I think he could beat a guy like Brandon Lee. I don't think Brandon Lee would present too much of a test as far as danger goes, but I think that's really the biggest problem. Anything that you could think of with Joseph Adorno, he can make the adjustment to win a fight. It's just that we just need to start seeing Joseph Adorno in these fights. And my top 5 opponents for him, if he were to go ahead and face these killers in the division, I wouldn't mind Brandon Lee. I wouldn't mind Montana Love. I think he can beat Montana. Um, I wouldn't mind a fight between him and I was not going to say Elvis Rodriguez, but maybe Kenneth Sims Jr. I think he could beat him. I think that's a very winnable fight, and I think that's something that I could easily see him challenge one day. Um, yeah. Who else did I say? I said Kenneth Sims Jr., Elvis Rodriguez. Yeah, Brandon Lee. I know, I'm pretty sure he could beat him. Um, Another good fighter would be who's another good fighter, man? Ah, man, there's just so much opposition. Like, if I say one person, it's probably gonna end up being like a absolute nightmare stylistic matchup. But I don't know. Man, it's kind of difficult. Um, Man, there are just too many killers at 140, bro. Like, I can't really say. I mean, Arnold Barbosa, like, that's a good fight. I think he could beat Arnold Barbosa, or I wouldn't mind Ryan Garcia. Why not go after Ryan Garcia? Ryan Garcia would be a absolute crazy good matchup, but I think Joseph would, I think Joseph would stop him. Um, I think that would be an amazing matchup. Oh my god, that would be such a good ass matchup, and I think that would be flame. But I mean, that's just how I see it. Like, there would be a lot of good fights for Joseph Adorno, but I mean, that's just my particular overview of how I see him climbing at 140. But knowing that he's putting himself in position for the IBF, it all makes a lot of sense why he took the opportunity with Hugo. Because I didn't even know who Hugo Rodon is, but once I started seeing him fight Joseph, like, he definitely was piecing up Joseph a little bit, but Joseph was, he was somewhat struggling in that fight, and I think it was just simply due to the weight adjustment, because I don't think he is. I don't think he's like fully acclimated to the weight, but I think once he gets acclimated to the weight, that's where things will start to be a lot more easier to determine if he's actually going to be good for 140 or not. So I just say give it more time, and let's see where his progression is coming into these fights. But I think another good litmus test would be him and Dakota Linger. I think he could beat Dakota. I think Dakota would be a pretty easy matchup for him, but I don't know. I think that's all granted in due time. It would be nice to see him and man, who's another good fighter? He's an absolute beast. But I can't think of his name right now. Yeah. Maybe Keyshawn Williams. Maybe he could fight him at 140. Maybe at some catch weight, but I mean, he's okay. But I don't know, man. I think at the state of the division right now, there's just a lot of great matchups that Joseph can fight, but I just don't know where the where the odds will be for him, because there will be great matchups for him, but the problem is just trying to see where things will go heading into the future. So I mean, either way, it all really determines of where things will head into the future with him. So I mean, I'm just kind of giving my brief thoughts on it. But if you guys have any suggested matchups of where you think Joseph will end up taking as a potential opponent in his career, go for it. I think Joseph can very well win, and I think he will be a good fighter at 140. But I think the best weight for him, personally, in my opinion, would be 135. He looks probably better at 135. It seems like his power is actually there at 135. So I'm not too sure of where he will rise in terms of his scale ability in either weights, but I think 135 would be the best weight class for him because he can get his power developed better, and I think 140 might be a little bit too big for him. But I mean, with Hugo, he was able to handle him. He was able to do what he had to do. So I don't know. We'll find out. Should I even wouldn't mind, a fight between him and Teofimo Lopez. So I mean, if that's a good fight where he could end up, facing, go for it. I mean, honestly, like I think that's probably like the best matchup for him right now. So I think him and Tio would be a barn burner type of fight. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have about Joseph Adorno, man. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Joseph Adorno should go ahead and go for these type of matchups? And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for what I have to say. But yeah, be sure to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Do what y'all got to do, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, thank you. Bye.